Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first interview of Chasing Wellness. I'm so pleased to introduce an acclaimed doctor in the field of internal medicine. She has extensive experience in dealing with critical care, having headed the intensive care Fortis Hospital in Noida for 10 years. She has so kindly decided to spare time from her busy schedule. Thank you, Dr. Nirupama Sharma, for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Manya.
Shall we shoot off with the questions?
Yes, sure, please.
So, why did you choose this specific field of medicine?
Right. I've done my post graduation in family medicine, and at that time I found it very interesting because I thought it's nice to be a general physician to the whole family, because family medicine teaches you a bit of everything. So you can do a consultation with the children as well as the women in the family and the men in the family. So if they have their general health problems, they can visit a family physician. The whole as a whole family unit, you can be a doctor to their family. So I found the concept quite interesting. That's why I chose this.
What developments have occurred within your field of specialization within the past few years?
Okay, medicine itself is a new branch in our country. It's just started. We just started this like 20 odd years back, and earlier there was no concept of family physicians. There were just concept of general physicians. But now you have a specialized person in that field, who will have more knowledge about the whole subject, and uh, the whole family can go to one person, and they don't have to go specifically to a super specialist for every small problem which they have. So this branch itself is fairly new. There's no major development as such in this branch because it's not specific to some organ, something like a nephrologist or a heart doctor like a cardiologist. So in general, just this branch is good.
Right. So this channel is basically focusing on teenage health and overall well-being. How should teenagers educate themselves about their health? What should they be asking when they go to visits to the doctor?
Okay.
What do you recommend teenagers should ask or when they go to the doctor?
Yeah, there are so many important questions which teenagers can ask from a doctor whenever they visit. First of all, they should get their, nowadays, childhood hypertension in young adults is more prevalent than it was in the olden days. So a routine body examination would be good, time to time, and elaborate blood investigation for the whole body is recommended every 4 to 6 years. If for a healthy adolescent who doesn't have very high risk in the family. So 4 to 6 years, a whole body checkup and routine checkup every 2 to 3 years by visiting a doctor. The questions which you can ask the doctors are about your dietary intake, what should it be to keep you healthy, also about amount of exercise one needs to do to remain healthy, and also in women when they should get their pap smear done and self-examination. These are the questions which should be asked to lead a healthy lifestyle when you visit a doctor.
Should these be asked every time or maybe once every 2 times?
Yeah, you should just ask them because you can update them with your dietary thing. And if you do have a problem in between, of course, you will visit the doctor. But generally, if you just ask them once, you would know how to go about it.
Right.
And then you can visit
So,
the doctor only when required.
yeah. For
Mm.
teenagers during their menstrual cycle, what are some steps that girls should take to remain healthy?
Yeah, for girls, it's very important to be comfortable in those 4 to 5 days, because all the teenagers these days deal with a lot of stress from their school, and even their social life is like that, even going out and playing sports. So everything is there. So nobody can put a stop on all these things while you have your periods. So we can make those 5 or 6 days comfortable for teenage girls by doing a minimum amount of exercise during these days. One should not think that I'm not going to do exercise because I have my periods going on. And trying to avoid hot beverages, tea and coffee, and carbonated drinks. You should avoid that during those days. If you have cramps, or it's really bad for some girls, then you can take a help of a hot water bottle, keep it handy, and use it if you have cramps instead of popping a pill, unless it's necessary. And change your sanitary napkin just to remain healthy, and wash your hands before doing so every time. so
I
that you
myself,
remain healthy. So these are the
I
few
love
tips.
coffee. So I'm very guilty of having carbonated drinks during my period, and then I try not to work exercise. So I should be considering
Yeah.
changing that.
Yes, you should be considering at least in those 5 days you can avoid it. It'll be easy. If you have very painful period, then try and avoid hot beverages and carbonated drinks. So
Okay.
it'll ease the whole process of
Okay.
dealing with those 5 days.
What should teenagers do on a daily basis or often to make sure they're living a healthy lifestyle, which could be dietary options or exercise related?
Yeah, see, the two things which by which you can have a healthy lifestyle really depend on two things these days mainly. One is exercise and one is healthy eating, which is not happening these days too much because there's so many options of eating out and having junk food and not eating healthy. So the children have to know about what amount of uh, fruits and green vegetables they need to have in their diet, and how often they can eat, and if at all they have to go for junk food, and the importance of exercising. What is recommended is minimum exercise of 20 to 30 minutes three times a week. It can be more depending on your lifestyle, or if it makes you happy to exercise more, you can go ahead and do it more, but minimum this should be done by every teenager to lead a healthy lifestyle. And
So
if you
if
have risk factors, then visit the doctor,
I
ask about the risk factors, and avoid those foods which will make it you know difficult for you to go ahead.
so I know teenagers like to eat out on weekends or every week one time. Is that okay for once a week?
I would say you should make it once a month. Once a week
Okay.
is also
Yeah.
too much, because yeah,
Yeah.
because once a week is also too much, because there's so many problems which are related to dietary intake. So many problems. Obesity is one of them. PCOS, which is very common in young girls, irregular periods because of polycystic ovaries. It's very common, and all this is somehow linked to the diet they take. Acne problem, which teenagers face, is also it's a lot of hormone problems they have during that time. So it's very important to eat healthy and try and exercise.
Okay, well, thank you so much. These are all the questions that we had today. I myself learned a lot as well. I'm sure that some of the viewers would have as well. So thank you so much for joining and spending some time from your schedule.
Thank you, Mani. It was a pleasure.
Thank